Hello, fans of beautiful Bibles. Today I'll be reviewing the Thomas Nelson New King James Version Preaching Bible. This one is in the mahogany calfskin. It's a beautiful, smooth leather. If you look closely, you do find some grain, and when you bend it, you'll see a little bit of the wrinkling. It is pretty soft and also feels pretty tough. The spine says Holy Bible, has New King James Version logo, and says Thomas Nelson. And the spine ribs are just printed on there, but they do look nice. These have 3 ribbons. They are single-sided satin ribbons, but they are beautiful and they work, and that's the whole point of a ribbon, is to mark your spot and be easy to pull out and open up the Bible. These are just gilded in gold. They're not art gilt, but they look great. So let's open it up and look at the inside. This is in a verse-by-verse format. All the verse numbers are highlighted in a blue color. Let's see if I can get the... I'm not getting the blue very well. There we go. They're all in blue. So is the book name and where we are in the book. References are also highlighted in blue at the bottom. Beautiful print. This is 11.5 comfort font. It's a nice white paper. The font is bold. And it's line matched, and so we hardly see any ghosting. Very easy to read, especially in the pulpit. I love this Bible. And if you're thinking this layout looks a little bit familiar, you are right, because it is very similar to my current preaching Bible, an ESV Quentel by Schuyler. So over here is the Quentel, 2 columns of text with the references at the bottom highlighted with Schuyler's distinctive red font. Over here with the Thomas Nelson Preaching Bible, it's just a different color. And the other difference is this is verse by verse throughout. The Quentels are paragraph formatted. Poetry will look the same though. That'll be all verse by verse. There's Psalms. So there we go. All verse by verse, just like the Preaching Bible. So, similar to the Quentel, so if you're looking for a verse by verse that looks like a Quentel and feels like a Quentel, this would be it in the New King James Version. And this also reminds me of one other Bible that I have used a lot, and that is the Crossway ESV verse by verse reference Bible. Mine is the top grain leather. This one is a lot more flexible than the New King James one. It's just a bit thicker and doesn't flop as much, but I'll get to that in a moment. But let's look at the insides of these. They're both verse by verse. The New King James has the references at the bottom like the Quentel. The Crossway has them crammed and really tiny in the bottom right-hand corner of each page. So I actually never really used the references in this one when I was working with this. I used this for all of 2017 for my preaching. Loved using it, but there are some key things that I do not like about it that the Preaching Bible has actually fixed. One of that is the paper here is a lot thinner. The lines are not line matched. So if you look closely, you can see it's not line matched. And the ghosting is pretty distracting. So if you have bright lights in your pulpit area, or if you walk around and you have bright lights when you're preaching, the ghosting will show up pretty bad. And it was actually distracting at times. It's pretty bad over here as well. But over here with the Thomas Nelson, the text is line matched, it's bolder, it's bigger, and the ghosting is not as bad, especially because the paper is 39 GSM. It is an awesome, awesome setting of Scripture, and I am excited to be using this in the future. I haven't used it yet for preaching, but I have walked around in my where the pulpit is in the sanctuary just to get a feel for it, and it reads very nicely up there in that lighting. This one also, one thing I'm not a huge fan of is the back. After Revelation, we have just a few of these lined note-taking pages, the same 39 GSM paper as the rest of the text, but that is it. No concordance, no maps. So a little bit of a bummer there. But one thing about the flexibility of this, when you're holding it, it's not as floppy. It just doesn't flop as much. And I like that. For preaching, if it flops over, you have to use 2 hands and fold the cover back over, and and so you can see everything. But this one, not that bad. So if you're in the market for a verse-by-verse reference Bible in a beautiful leather cover, it also comes in black calfskin and it's edge-lined, this may be the Bible for you. That's all for now. God bless.